guys, welcome to Impact. So in this video, we'll look at one very small area, carbon border adjustment mechanism, which has been in the news recently. So our topic is the carbon border adjustment mechanism. Now, in what context is news law on this? So in this video, what we'll see is what context it was in the news, what is this mechanism, why EU feels it is required, and why some other countries have opposed. They are saying, no, this is not right. And we'll see all this in this video. Why it has been in the news? It's European Union first climate change negotiations போயிட்டு. So that is going on one side. So simultaneously, European Union has proposed a policy called carbon border adjustment mechanism, which the basic countries have opposed. Basic countries is Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. Now, basic grouping, in what context நம்மளுக்கு வரும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தோம்னா, they are in the countries they are grouped together and they are called basic in the context of climate change negotiations. So again, whether EU has been proposing this policy for the very first time அப்படின்னு கேட்டா இல்ல, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி around 1 year back also they have told we might have some mechanism like this அப்படின்னு. So what is this carbon border adjustment mechanism? So first, before we look at this, we'll see what happens in the EU. So EU as a developed country, they have been doing or taking up carbon reduction plans. So one among that plan is keeping a quota for carbon emissions. Again, let us discuss with a rough example. Let us say for this place, only 100 units of carbon must be emitted. There they will fix a rule, something on this lines. Let us say there are 20 industries there, but their total emissions, if they will have to carry out full production, will be, let's say, 200 units or 200 or 300 units. Now, what these industries have to do, they have to purchase that extra 100 or 200 units of carbon credits from somewhere else, from some other country, or they have to invest in renewable energy. So that is emission trading mechanism. That is a topic for another class, but they have some mechanism like this. Now, for every unit of carbon dioxide that they are emitting, they have to invest something again in carbon dioxide, or they have to procure this carbon quota. Now, what happens when this mechanism is implemented? The industries which are inside the EU, they have to pay or shell out more of their money for producing the same 1 ton of steel which other countries are producing. Now, let us take Brazil or India or some other country. We don't have such a mechanism here. We don't have any quotas. Even though we have been trying a lot, we have been pushing a lot for renewable energy and all that, periya initiatives are going on, but we don't have any such mechanism here. So what Europe is telling, so see, I also have a steel industry, but I am imposing a quota. As a result of this quota, as a result of our carbon policy, they are imposing an extra cost. As a result of that, our steel products are costly. Now, your products are entering into our market. They are having an advantage because they are cheaper. They don't have any such mechanism. Hence, you are able to easily come and sell your products in my market. My industries are losing out. So what they are telling, now let us take again a few items like steel or cement, which are very carbon intensive. You want to bring it into our borders and sell. I will impose a duty on all those things. So that duty will be called as a carbon border adjustment mechanism, or a duty will be levied, which is actually the carbon border adjustment mechanism. So it is a duty will be imposed on imported goods based on carbon expenditure producing them. It will make the equivalent cost on imports equal to the NATO or domestic industry. So it aims to create a level playing field between foreign and domestic producer. And when they are planning to implement it, it is only by 2026. Now, what are the sectors that are primarily to be affected? Cement, fertilizer, iron, steel, electricity, and aluminum input. These are just indicators. Few other sectors are also there. So here, India or Europe forms a very large part of India's export. Around 70% of our products we export to Europe alone. Now, when we are doing such thing, if Europe is putting such a mechanism, our products will become costly. They will lose out our competitiveness unless we do something, some other mechanisms here. But in general, we will lose out our competitiveness. This will affect our exports. So we are generally worried, or all the basic countries are worried. If you are imposing this, all our industries will be affected. So what we tell, or what we have been, has been our position ever since the climate change negotiations have first happened. See, you have been adding your carbon emission. You have finished your industrialization for the past 200, 250 years. We are just beginning to industrialize. So you take more of a burden. You don't impose the carbon burden on us. So over the period of time, CBDR India has retained its stand on CBDR, but it is not getting a lot of support from developed countries. They are trying to push the onus back on us, saying you finance it, you are also a bigger country, etc. and all that they are trying, and they are not ready to take up the financial burden. So this is our stand, or basic stand. We say no, don't impose this. Our countries, our exports will be affected. Take up the responsibility. You have added so much of carbon over the past 250 years. So, but however, it's yet to be seen what Europe does in the upcoming days. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you.